Breaking news from the back pages. The Mirror has just dropped a transfer bombshell that is rocking the foundations of Old Trafford as Manchester United prepare a seismic overhaul of their engine room. Leaving young Kobbie Mainoo as the sole survivor of a midfield purge, the board is reportedly ready to sanction a staggering £113 million double swoop for the Brazilian Titans, Joao Gomes of Wolves, and Newcastle's midfield general, Bruno Guimarães. To add fuel to the fire, the ever-reliable David Ornstein has confirmed that United officials have already held preliminary talks with Guimarães' representatives, scouting the terrain before launching a full-scale offensive at St. James's Park. The objective is clear: secure the signature of this South American maestro before the ink even dries on the season's final report. So, let's dive deep into this tactical revolution here at BallPulse. Just yesterday, the transfer oracle Fabrizio Romano revealed that the Red Devils have shifted into top gear for Bruno Guimarães, while Joao Gomes is viewed as a low-hanging fruit, with Wolves counting down their final days in the top flight. It's no secret that United have long admired Gomes as the primary candidate to fill the void left by Casemiro's impending departure, and with Manuel Ugarte's future looking bleak at the Theatre of Dreams, a total reconstruction is inevitable. Gomes was heavily linked during the winter window, but Wolves, fighting for their very survival, refused to entertain any offers at the time. But the landscape has changed, the hammer has fallen, and they are now prepared to sit at the negotiating table to recoup what they can before saying a bitter farewell to the Premier League. Having arrived from Flamengo in 2023 for a modest $15 million, the Brazilian's stock has skyrocketed following his international call-up and a series of dominant displays on English soil. After penning a new deal last April, his market value has nearly tripled, now hovering around the £44 million mark. However, with Wolves staring into the abyss of relegation, that price tag could soften by the summer. Crucially, the United hierarchy insists this pursuit is a pillar of the long-term INEOS strategy, a move that will proceed regardless of who occupies the dugout, proving that Manchester United is finally prioritizing a stable footballing structure over the whims of a manager. Even with Ruben Amorim gone and Michael Carrick holding the fort as interim, the scouting department is operating with total autonomy to ensure the rebuild remains on track. They've identified a desperate need for at least two elite defensive anchors, and Joao Gomes has emerged as the optimal solution, blending proven Premier League quality with a projected fee that makes perfect financial sense. Affectionately nicknamed the Pitbull, Gomes is a force of nature, defined by his relentless aggression, tireless ball recovery, and an elite work rate that never wanes. The intoxicating cocktail of South American flair and raw English power makes him the perfect blueprint for the INEOS era, bringing that much-needed balance of steel and silk to the United engine room. With Wolves' relegation appearing all but certain, this is a golden opportunity for United to snatch a star of the 2001 generation at a cut-price deal, a move that would have been unthinkable for a player of his caliber just months ago. But the path isn't clear. Newcastle United are also circling, hungry to bolster their own ranks for a top-four charge. Yet, with a comprehensive dossier already finalized by the scouting team, Manchester United currently hold the pole position in the race for Gomes' signature. Meanwhile, Bruno Guimarães appears even closer to the Carrington gates, with both clubs engaged in open negotiations starting at a baseline of £69 million. Despite his world-class quality, Guimarães is approaching 29, and with a contract running until 2028, Newcastle find themselves in a precarious position: sell now for a premium, or risk a depreciating asset in the years to come. Since arriving at St. James's Park in 2022, Bruno has cemented his status as one of the Premier League's elite operators, a midfield general with a 360-degree vision and a relentless engine. In the 2025-26 campaign, the Brazilian international notched 9 goals and 7 assists in 35 appearances, staggering numbers that underline his massive influence on the pitch. However, experts warn that this will be no walk in the park. Newcastle are notoriously stubborn negotiators and won't let their talisman walk away without a fight. Currently, Old Trafford is vetting 6 or 7 different candidates for the central roles, but Guimarães remains the crown jewel of their shortlist. Success in the Guimarães operation hinges entirely on 2 factors: the summer transfer budget and, more crucially, the lure of Champions League football at Old Trafford. Meanwhile, European heavyweights are circling like vultures. But if United can secure his signature, it will be a monumental boost for a midfield seeking to rediscover its iron spine. Early whispers suggest mutual admiration between United and Guimarães, a crucial foundation for any deal. However, the shadow of Real Madrid looms large, as the Spanish giants have long admired the Newcastle captain's tactical intelligence. But let's be clear, Newcastle find themselves in a weakened position at the negotiating table. With only 2 years remaining on his current deal, the Magpies face a binary choice: offer a massive renewal or liquidate their asset to optimize cash flow. For Manchester United, this is the perfect moment to fast-track their restructuring, seizing a world-class operator just as he enters his peak years. Even as he approaches 29, Guimarães represents a precise investment for the next 3 to 4 seasons. Currently the highest earner at St. James's Park, his $160,000 a week wages are merely the entry level at Old Trafford. A move to Manchester promises not just silverware, but a significant payday. The contrast with Casemiro is stark. One has conquered Europe 5 times over and may lack the hunger for a long-term rebuild, while the other is desperate to etch his own name into the folklore of a historic institution. This isn't just a substitution, it's a change in DNA. Newcastle are forced to contemplate the unthinkable. Accepting a massive windfall now allows them to reinvest in younger talent. Otherwise, they risk seeing Guimarães' market value plummet as his contract ticks down toward expiration. After their Champions League exit in the round of 16, Newcastle's path back to the elite looks treacherous, inadvertently opening the door for Guimarães to depart. In a poetic twist, Casemiro has reportedly endorsed his compatriot as his natural successor, citing his leadership and Premier League pedigree as the perfect fit for the Red Devils. To summarize, if Manchester United can wrap up the Brazilian duo of Guimarães and Gomes before the 2026 World Cup kicks off, it will be the ultimate statement, a declaration that the hunt for the Premier League crown and European glory is officially rekindled. Expect at least 2 new faces in that midfield engine room very soon. You've been watching a BallPulse exclusive. We want to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, support our team by hitting that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss a beat of the beautiful game. Until next time, this is the Pulse of Football, signing off.